Maybe the Bill Cosby saga didn't end after all. Or maybe it just continued in sprinkles. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope your day was enjoyable. I hope it was peaceful. And most of all, I hope that it was relaxing and you accomplished everything that was needed. So, about 2 hours ago, I got this news that Bill Cosby was found guilty of sexual assaulting a teen at a Playboy mansion back in 1975. Now, this case is not criminal. It's a civil case. So it was a lawsuit, involved money, which means that he's going to have to pay this woman unless he appeals it. But hey, we'll see. But it reads, though his legal team was there, Bill Cosby was not in attendance as the verdict was read in a Santa Monica courtroom on Tuesday. A civil jury ruled in favor of Judyhuth, who accused Bill Cosby of sexually assaulting and abusing her at the Playboy mansion when she was a teen. After a 2-week-long trial, the verdict was read in a Santa Monica courtroom on Tuesday after the jury began deliberating on Thursday, per New York Times and the Associated Press. Huth was awarded $500,000 in damages, and though Cosby's legal team was in attendance on Tuesday, the former actor was not in court as the verdict was read, according to Deadline. Huth, 64, alleged that Cosby molested her in a bedroom at the Playboy mansion, Hugh Hefner's famed Holmby Hills estate, when she was 16 years old. Huth filed a civil lawsuit in 2014, seeking damages for emotional distress. In the lawsuit, Huth alleged she met the comedian in 1975 when she and a 17-year-old friend were watching a movie being filmed in a San Marino park in Los Angeles. She says Cosby approached the pair and asked them to come sit with him. He allegedly invited the girls to meet him at his tennis club the following Saturday when he allegedly served them alcoholic beverages while they played billiards. Huth alleges that she was required to drink a beer every time Cosby won. I know that game, by the way. After the girls had allegedly served multiple alcoholic beverages, Cosby told them he had a surprise for them and brought them to the Playboy mansion. According to a civil suit she filed against Cosby, Cosby allegedly told the girls to say they were 19 if anyone asked. When Huth told Cosby she needed to use the bathroom, he directed her to a bathroom in a bedroom suite, according to the suit. When she emerged, she found Cosby sitting on the bed. He asked her to sit down and proceeded to sexually molest her without her consent, the lawsuit alleged. The statute of limitations had expired for a criminal case, but California law allows victims of underage sexual abuse to file lawsuits decades after the alleged incidents take place. Late last June, Cosby was released from prison. After his conviction in the Andrea Constant case was overturned. Constant was an administrator with the Temple University women's basketball team when she says whom she considers to be a mentor drugged and sexually assaulted her at his Elkins Park, Pennsylvania home in 2004. In a judgment, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court held that the decision to use Cosby's statements from a previous deposition where Cosby admitted he gave quaaludes to women with whom he wanted to have sex against him deprived him of his Fifth Amendment rights because of a previous prosecutor had promised not to charge him in exchange for sitting for the deposition. Cosby, the court stated, had been subject to an unconstitutional coercive bait and switch, which the court characterized as a due process violation. The highest court decision also prevented the prosecutors from filing or refiling the criminal charges. Now, I want to say something. I had to pronounce her name like that because I wasn't sure. I don't know if it was Huth or Huth. You know, a lot of his accusers have like the weirdest pronunciation of names. I just want to come out and say it. You know, I'm just going to be honest with you. So here's my take on this. This one is, I'm not going to say it's different from Andrea Constant, but my problem with a lot of this is who's representing them. An unsavory lawyer, an unscrupulous lawyer named Gloria Allred. That is the problem I have with this. A woman who, for years, have always tried to get black men to not really, she doesn't really want them to go to prison so much. She wants them to settle the lawsuits so that she can make money. And she's become a multi-millionaire from it. Going all the way back to Michael Jackson, going all the way back to even Eddie Murphy with the paternity suit with him and Mel B. It's so many. I could just name. Oh, Tiger. And that collapsed, that situation. That was back in 2015. Now, this is my first time hearing the situation, hearing about this case. And, you know, they awarded her $500K in damages. He can appeal it if he wants to, but I don't know. He might pay or he might not pay. What I just think is that no matter what, it still comes back. Once you think it's over, something else comes. This is money at this point. They just want money. And if they awarded her $500K, you know Aura's going to take something. She's going to take it. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But what we also have to talk about is the culture, what was going on at that time. I'm not saying that he did this at all. I want to make that clear. And I'm not saying that he didn't do it. But what I'm saying more importantly is that according to this young lady, where were her parents that she was 16 years old going to the Hugh Hefner mansion? And I want to talk about Hugh Hefner because a lot of these things that happen at the mansion, they're pinning it on Bill Cosby because Hugh Hefner is no longer here. I want to say that. You don't have Sammy Davis Jr. You don't have a lot of people that was there at that time. He's the last person left in this whole scheme of what was going on in the mansion in the 60s and the 70s. So it was like there's a lot of people that are accusing him when in actuality it was other people that could have done this. And the thing that's interesting is that Cosby would say that, you know, a lot of these people I never met. You know, I never had interactions with them. And I believe a lot of it. I believe that they're pinning it on him because a lot of people are deceased in this scheme. And if you notice, this trial the accusations never came about until Hugh Hefner had to step down in 2013 from Playboy Enterprises. That's a very important thing with this whole puzzle of these accusations. You know, 2012, Bill Cosby was still loved. 2013, Bill Cosby was still loved. But once Hugh Hefner steps down, 2014 comes around, and there's this setup where we got to take him down. And I believe it was because they were protecting Hugh Hefner. Because there was talks about women being art at the mansion. Girls. Women being art at the mansion. But, you know, hey. I'm just at this point, I'm exhausted from it all. And so with that being said, I'm signing off. Thank you for listening and have a good night. Take care. Oh, and moral of the story is stay away from the Playboy mansion.